A desert with the vice of sin more humid. The vice of sin could not be more. Amid this sin the Lord descended Muhammad. He was truth embodied. He told not a lie. He was the sun that rose not late and not early. Who opposed him? Not Khadija, not Ali. In fact, Ali held Badr and fought in her. In fact, Ali held Badr and fought in her. He conquered the gate of Khaybar's, fought in her. When he'd bleed, wipe his wounds with Fatimah. And Fatimah never left his side and hasn't. Fatimah never left his side and hasn't. Just like the shore wouldn't leave the sea and hasn't. She gave birth to both Hussein and Hassan. Hassan poisoned by his wife. None would call her sane. None could look at their enemies and say he's sane. Hassan stood, but with Yazid rose. Hussein, Hussein, and the vice of tyranny his sword jarred. Hussein, the vice of tyranny, his sword jarred. His glare shook evil. All that he saw jarred. His battle continued by Zainab, Abbas, and Sajjad, seeking to reform the nation of his grandfather Muhammad. When I saw the tents were burning with fire, I remembered the house of my mother. Alone in Karbala, I remembered Zahra. The tents ablaze and alone here I stand, with no one left to embrace, as both my feet are being burned by the sand and fire scorches my face. The tents ablaze and alone here I stand, with no one left to embrace, as both my feet are being burned by the sand and fire scorches my face. Today someone else's pain I understand. Today her steps I retrace. They did not find a Zahra upon this land, so I have taken her place. There was no house of Fatima to burn, so they burned the tents of all her children. Upon each child a scar. I remembered Zahra. When I heard Hussein to Abbas crying, "Brother, my back is broken," I remembered the sound of something breaking when Zahra's rib was taken. When I heard Hussein to Abbas crying, "Brother, my back is broken," I remembered the sound of something breaking when Zahra's rib was taken. When I saw him from the river returning, looking pale and shaken, I remembered by Zahra he'd be wailing, "Oh mother, please awaken." I remembered Hussein upon her chest when shimmer upon my brother would rest. And I screamed from afar. I remembered Zahra when I heard Hussein's child crying from thirst, "Oh father, I am thirsty." I remembered the child who before birth cried, "Mother, please protect me," when the veins of Abdullah's neck would burst and I saw a killed baby. I remembered the one who met with his death first before his cradle would sway. One soon after his death, one soon after his birth met with his death. One met with his death long before his first breath. In my shock and horror, I remembered Zahra. When I was alone and I faced danger, I cried, "Help me, O Abbas." When I was alone and I faced danger, I cried, "Help me, O Abbas." I remembered your voice crying for Haydar when your chest nails would pierce. And just like into our house, O my mother, those oppressors would trespass through the tents, defenseless, with no protector. Hundreds of shimmers pass. I curse the one who crushed you with the door. I curse the one who crushed you with the door, when hundreds just like him into our tents pour with arrows and fire. I remembered Zahra. Oh Zahra, around your daughter this world burns and this fire has no end. The one who burned your house with fire returns, and your daughters I defend. I watch the smoke as into my lungs it turns. I watch the smoke as into my lungs it turns. The ashes toward me bend. A Fatima Zahra, Yazid's army yearns, and curses upon me they send. Curses upon me they send. I remembered when I smelt the ashes, your chest, O Fatima, the door crushes. And I scream, O mother, I remembered Zahra, a daughter in distress yearns her mother's arms. A daughter in distress yearns her mother's arms. In your absence I wail. I wanted your hand, but found blood on my palms. I wanted your hand, but found blood on my palms, and it came from the nail. O Fatima, your voice comforts and it calms my torture to you I tell. You bid farewell to me, and your absence harms when to all I bid farewell. I was tortured by the tears in my eye when to every loved one I bid goodbye. Between dead, I wonder. I remembered Zahra when I saw the tents burning with fire. I remembered the house of my mother, and alone in Karbala, I remembered Zahra. Salli ala Muhammadin wa